Yo, what is good, everybody? We are back. It's been how long? 2 months, maybe. But the boys are back in town. RB, DJ Eastwood, Romp. We're back in the house, man. Talking Sixers, Joel Embiid, 2-5, Tobias Harris. The trade deadline is in less than a month. We've missed a lot, honestly. The last time we were up here, I believe we were on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. We said, is it time to start worrying about this team? And now 2 months later, we're on a 7-game win streak. Less than a month ago to the trade deadline. But in my opinion, I've seen, a lot of people like on both sides of the fence here. Like some people are really excited about where this team could go in the next month. Some people have just pretty much given up on this season. So that's why we're here, man. But we are live on both channels, but sub up all the channels on the banner below. Give us some thoughts in the chat. How are you guys feeling? Obviously, a lot of news coming out today, so it was a good time to get up on here and do this. But I'm going to pass it off to my guys. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man? DJ Eastwood, run it back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Glad to be here.
What's up? Romp is back in the building. I'm excited to talk some Sixers. I'm excited to talk about the Philadelphia Embiids, as I call them. So, yeah.
That is what they are, with 3 max contracts.
3 max.
I'm excited to finally get Tobias Harris up out of here. I'm so glad that got announced today.
So we're already we're already diving right into Tobias Harris. All right, DJ, tell us how you feel, bro. Like you're the one that's been going for a minute. Like DJ, he arose. He came back out of nowhere, man. How are you feeling about this team, DJ?
I think Joel Embiid is so good right now that it kind of, you could put any 4 NBA players around him and he's going to have you in the top 2 or 3 in the East right now. But as far as winning a championship, obviously things still need to happen to put us over the hump. He needs some help. And you're going to have to pull an Al Horford on the Tobias Harris contract. You're just going to have to. And I think Daryl Morey's willing to do it. That's what I think.
All right, I like it. Shout out to Seth with the $5 super chat. Is stopping in to show my guy some love. We're giving up on the season if we trade Toby and 2-5, even though Bias has been garbage this season. Romp, you go ahead and take it up next, my guy, and then I'll go last.
How are we giving up on the season when Tobias has been a minus? I mean,
hold up. Before we get just tell us how you're feeling overall.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while. Like Romp, you're always the guy to you come in.
Okay,
so what is your take as you call the Embiids right now? How do you feel about this team?
I'm enjoying this season because there's no pressure. Like we're not supposed to win, so it's like I'm just watching every game. I'm not really complaining too much. I'm just kind of like sitting back, like watching Joel Embiid right now feels like every game, like I'm just like on shrooms. It feels like because I'm seeing this 7'2" freak of nature just do things that like shouldn't be possible for his body size. I mean, he's playing like Kobe Bryant. He'll have a Nikola Jokic pass, and then he'll play like Giannis and bring it up the court. Like I just sit back and I'm like just in a daze, and my mom's like, "Yo, Luke, did you see that play?" I'm like, what? Because I'm just like, what? Like Embiid is incredible. 20-8 with him. We're on a 58 game pace with Embiid, and then without him, we're 3-8. So that's a 22 game win pace. So, I mean, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's nuts, man. He's been on probably the biggest tear of his career, honestly, and that's why I'm both happy and nervous. I would say at this point, we'll get into why I'm nervous, but. Joel is playing the best ball of his career, and he's even reached bigger levels than he did last year, which is actually insane. And then when you look at the team around him, like I've been arguing with a bunch of people, like Joel Embiid is the MVP of the NBA right now. How can you tell me that this guy is not the most valuable, by definition, most valuable to his team? Like, look at what we have out there, especially, in a second guy like Tobias Harris, who I don't even expect to be a second guy at this point. But Joel is literally carrying his team. He has what? We've won 7 straight games in a row. He's got 7 straight 30-point games. He's got 9 straight 30-point games on the road. And he's just dogging these teams every single night. They're throwing doubles at him. They're throwing triples. They're doing anything they can to stop him. He's like, screw it. Now he's even, ISOing himself on the perimeter. He's passing. He's averaging 5, 6 assists a game. The guy can do anything. He's one of the best talents in the league. And this is Joel's team. This is Joel's city, man. This is Joel's city.
Yeah, I don't think we ever thought that he was going to add passing to his game. You know what I mean? And we always talked about how just great he is offensively and defensively. Nobody ever said, what if he starts passing the ball like a point center, and then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 games in a row, he's throwing the ball over his shoulder and wrap around passes across the baseline, and it's what? That's scary for the rest of the NBA if this guy starts dropping 40-point triple doubles.
Romp, I'm gonna let you read that super chat. That's for you.
Andre Oliveri says, Romp, your shroom trip will end when we get knocked out in the first round. I mean, I don't really care because there's no expectations for this season. I mean, if we get knocked out, we get knocked out. But the way Joel's playing right now, he could beat any team. He could have a Dirk Nowitzki run if you go out and make a Ben deal at the deadline, get some more help. Anything's possible with how Joel Embiid's playing, to be honest. But it's not likely, but it's possible.
Let me go right at that, Ron. Let me ask you something, right? Without us getting right into the specifics right away. You say we have no expectations this season. My instant thought to that is that's ridiculous. Not that you're wrong, but overall, this is the Joel Embiid led Sixers right now. Last year look at where we were at, and here we are the next season with Joel playing even better. And we have no expectations. Really, nobody thinks that we can win a damn thing. And I'm truly pissed off at that right now. To me, this is the time you got to push in. You got to go make something happen. I'm getting sick and tired of living in this purgatory this year where the Sixers are playing good and then, they go into a slump and they're playing good. It's what are the expectations for this team,
Well, have they really gotten in a slump though? Because with Embiid, the record. It's with Embiid, we are playing pretty well. I mean, every game's close, it seems besides recently, but I mean, I don't know what the expectations are. I guess make it past the second round, try to get Embiid help and make it past the second round finally. But with the Ben Simmons thing just looming, kind of ruined the season beforehand. And now you're in a place where Embiid's playing at an all-time level. And it's yeah, you should go make a move, but you also don't want to, just get nothing in return for Ben Simmons, even though I think there's options out there. But Daryl Morey just, he's a spoiled one. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I still think we're better. I still think we're better right now without Ben Simmons, period. And we started the season 10-2, and then the COVID thing happened. Came back from COVID. Everything looked terrible. I think we overreacted. I know I did. I think everybody was just out of sync and didn't have their legs under them and conditioning and everything like that. And Joel Embiid, when he first came back when he had COVID, now everybody, we're still missing guys, but now the team the past couple of games looks just a lot better than they did. I'm not going to say they have great transition defense or anything like that, but it's just looking a lot more like it did the beginning of the season where you notice the spacing is so much better and running the game from the inside out is so much easier without 2-5 standing under the basket. So, but as far as expectations, yeah, it's tough. It's if Tyrese Maxey somehow balls out and takes you somewhere in the playoffs as a starting point guard, you would be ecstatic, but it's not something you expect a 21-year-old to do. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to have expectations. But then with the same thing Romp said, it's kind of nice to sit back and be if they're bad, we have an excuse. They got Embiid and nobody's helping them. If they're good, it will be impressive.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel like there's a lot of good young talent right now, but I still feel like it's not fair. It's really not fair to the Sixers, organization, the fan base, anybody. The fact that we are now less than a month away. The trade deadline is February 10th. It is January 11th. And 2-5 is still nowhere to be found. They haven't really talked about it in a couple months, really, since we've been here on this show. And again, I'm starting to get a little bit worried. And I'm going to talk about it more, but shout out to Seth with the $5 super chat. I'll tell you how who realistically is going to give us a third or second option for bias. He's not playing like it. He's our third option. Andre with the $2 super chat is process 2.0. See, this is the mindset I can't have with these Sixers. We can't be calling for the process halfway through this season. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Nobody wants another process. I never want to go through that again.
You guys are killing me, man. Sean McQuestion with the $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Says, how do we trade Ben Simmons and Toby for Jimmy Butler? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. We're about to dive into how we feel about those two, and I'm really excited to hear how these guys feel. D with the $2 super chat, showing support, sending a trade idea in the chat. Thank you very much. We'll try to pull that up.
Oh man, do you guys want to throw a parade with me when it's finally over? Like, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
This has been going on for so long. I feel like I've been in jail, and I'm going to celebrate getting out of prison.
I would love to. I would love to literally us get together and throw a party. But you know what, DJ? I don't think it's going to. I'm starting to think it might not happen. And
I agree.
At that point, you guys are going to hear some loud criticism from all of us. Like, I will not let this one go. Let's just say that. But Seth with the $5 super chat, think we need to see what we can get for 2.5, then go from there when we see how the team performs with new player or players. Who knows? I'm actually going to side here with Seth. I agree with him 100%. Obviously, these rumors come out. If you're just tuning in and you don't know what the heck we're talking about today, it was reported that 2.5 and Tobias could be in a potential trade together, maybe going to two different teams in a 3-team trade. This is getting reported, though, from Windhorse, okay? And we kind of know, like, what type, where his mind is at. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But let me just get your guys' thoughts on those initial rumors. I'm just going to say it. I think it's complete bogus. I really do. I don't see a way that we package $70 million in a deal. And I also don't think that you can just trade two of your highest paid 3 players and just go like that with the season we're having right now. What do you guys think about that?
I think it would have to be like a 4-team deal. I mean, you definitely can't get anybody to take both of those contracts together with the lack of production. That's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, sure, we'll pay $350 million for a guy that averages 17 points and a guy that quit. Like, who's going to do that? No, nobody's going to do that. But if you can work out something, the Tobias one is the one that I just don't even think it's possible at his age. And it's like, he is who he is. He's not going to be better than he is. He's not going to improve. He has absolutely no value at all with that contract. At least you can sell Ben Simmons on certain things, certain intangibles, outside of shooting. But Tobias, I really just think you're gonna have to attach a 1st-round pick and get an expiring contract back or something like that, because you're not getting anything for him.
Do you think that would be worth it though? Like, I don't even think that would be worth it at this point. I don't think it would be worth it trading
to get rid of Tobias. I don't think he's doing anything that you can find players that do what he does all over the place. We had George Niang is a better stretch 4 than Tobias Harris. I'm so over it. I just don't understand what he actually does that's good enough for it to be that valuable.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think in my mind that, we know he's not worth that contract. See, people hold him to this higher standard. I know he's going to give us 18 to 20 a night. That's literally who Tobias is. And he has been struggling all year. And you had the whole thing going on. But my thing is like, are you going to trade? Like you pretty much just said it yourself. What can we really get back for 2.5 right now? Right. So in addition to that, what can we get back for Tobias Harris? So if you trade both of them, all I'm saying is like, where's this team going to be at in a couple months? You
still have Joel Embiid, and then you have a lot of cap space instead of paying players that aren't contributing. I mean,
you got to get players back though.
You do got to get players back, or after the trade deadline, the buyout market or whatever it is, who knows? But
I'm not like disagreeing with you. I'm just like posing the question. Like I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. So
it sucks that there's not really a plan. It doesn't feel like there's one. It's almost like you got to just cut bait and then try to put it all together real fast.
Yeah. Romp, what do you think about this whole thing?
I think I think the Kings are the team where we could get them, like, we could fleece them, as they say nowadays. Because they're just a dumpster fire right now, but they have talent on that roster. Like, they should actually be like a decent team. They just suck for some reason. They have a lot of young talent on that roster, though. So I want to make a deal with the Kings. I don't know if we can give up, Tobias and Ben Simmons in that deal. I don't think they would do that, but they might because they're the Sacramento Kings, and they might like trick themselves and think, oh, Tobias is this great veteran leader. We need to change the culture, all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they'll be like, oh, we have to get Ben Simmons because, no one's going to Sacramento in free agency. Let's be real. So it actually kind of makes sense for them to take a chance on Ben Simmons. That's the one team I'm looking at, and I'm like, make a deal with them because we could roast them and toast them. But my thing with Tobias is I feel like he thinks he deserves that contract, and he plays like he should get as many shots as he does. It's like, dude, sometimes just get the ball and pass it. Quit trying to force the issue because most likely it's going to go wrong like it has so many times this year. It's so annoying to see him do the same thing and just miss easy layups and just be a ball stopper.
That is, do you think he needs to? I mean, do you really think he thinks he's worth that contract? That sounds kind of crazy. I mean, you would
Yes,
think
I
he'd
do.
be realistic enough to know, like, okay, I was only ever barely a 20-point per game scorer. I was never an all-star. I'm not worth $180 million.
No, but if you watch him play,
Yeah,
he
he thinks he's
takes
the man.
shots like
Yeah.
he is a superstar. And if you notice, every time he misses, he blames someone else. He's always arguing with the refs. He's always flailing his arms like, I got fouled. It's so annoying. That's the things that piss me off about Tobias. I like him as a person, but as a basketball player, I hate him so much. He's so annoying.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Because the thing that I've been saying to people who, are on the trade everybody train, like, let's just get what we can. You guys made a good point about him, like, feeling like he's in demand, like he has to be the guy each night. My thing is, if you go out and trade for another player, right? You got Maxey, who can obviously score 25 a night if he wants to, and if he's put in the right position. Then if you get, say, another scorer back, maybe a wing player, can Tobias take like that backseat role? I think that would be perfect for him to kind of be like the fourth option on this team. Now, obviously, Doc Rivers, ego-wise, would that actually happen? But I just don't view it feasible as the Sixers clearing up $70 million of cap space like that in the next month. I'm starting to get worried they don't even trade one of these guys. But like, can Tobias take like a backseat role, not have to take 14 shots a night? You know what I mean?
Listen, if they somehow would pull off like a 4-team trade and land Jaylen Brown, then Tobias Harris has no choice but to take a back seat. I mean, that would be quite obvious. But it's, again, if he has the ego that Romp is saying he has, maybe it's hard to get him to take a back seat. But he lived so much off of Ben Simmons sprinting down the floor and kicking it back out, like so much, not just wide open shots, but just getting him downhill. And he would catch the ball and the defense would be retreating and he would already, it wasn't this like stand around ISO. It was, even though it was so annoying to watch Ben do it all the time, Tobias Harris was always the guy behind him that caught the ball at the 3-point line. He's set him up so much. And without Ben, it's like Tobias Harris ISO is just hard to watch.
I'm going to have to agree, but also disagree with that. I feel like people leave out one point when they bring that up. I think the point that they leave out is that, again, without Ben on the floor, Tobias feels like he has to do more on offense. Like last year, obviously, 2-5 wasn't a threat to shoot or anything like that, but he could get downhill and get to the basket. And they were at least looking at him on the floor inside the 3-point arc. But now it's like it's like these better defenders are on Tobias. He doesn't look as athletic against them. And again, I feel like it's just this mentality. And I feel like Doc is feeding into it. He's like just letting him go out there and try to be like this 15 shot a game type of guy, which he's not. But that's just kind of how I feel about it. What do you think, Romp?
I agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like Tobias just kind of thinks he's way better than he actually is, and that's why he tries to force things. I always see Doc like actually yelling at him. And Doc usually kind of just sits back and is like, oh, let Joel Embiid just carry me. So, dude, our team, we don't even have coaches. Let's be real. It's literally just Joel Embiid doing whatever the hell he wants to, and that's how we're winning. Like, we could all go coach the Sixers, and it would be the same record. Doc isn't doing anything. It's literally just, yo, Embiid, do everything. Be the point guard now. Bring it up the floor. He's not doing nothing.
I mean, it's a good point. Aaron with the $5 super chat says, what about this Toby, Reed, Springer, 2 firsts for Jeremy Grant and some nobody to make salaries work? What do you guys think about Jeremy Grant?
Yo, I would do that in an instant.
2 firsts?
I'm not touching Jeremy Grant.
We drafted Jaden Springer. I don't trust him anymore after that pick.
Yeah, but
you don't trust Daryl Morey drafting? Is that what you're saying? After
that Jaden Springer pick.
Yeah, I mean, but he also got you Tyrese Maxey and Isaiah Joe. Who,
but that was a no-brainer.
ever since Dan Burke took over for 2 games, Isaiah Joe's part of the rotation.
What is Jeremy Grant going to do to make this team a championship level team, though? Beyond what we have right now,
rebounding.
That's
rebounding and just being an athlete. This team is not athletic at all.
Right, but don't you think Jeremy Grant's just a 20-some point per game scorer because he plays on the Detroit Pistons?
Yeah, but I think he's a better complementary player than Tobias. And he's a way better defender.
I won't disagree with that, but I just think you're giving up 2 firsts.
2 firsts is pretty wild now that I think about it.
Not bringing back much of an improvement.
And that's a big contract too, you know? Like, it's Jeremy Grant's getting paid a ton, so.
Yeah, but Jeremy Grant's productive. I think, like, Tobias is really bad.
Like, if you're going to get Jeremy Grant, right? If you're going to spend that money, why don't you go get John Collins then? If you're going to move,
I'll take John Collins too, bro. If John Collins comes here and Tobias is still here, John Collins better be the starting 4. That's all I'll say.
All right, so 13.
I don't think you would do John Collins without getting rid of Tobias.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to get rid of Tobias, why wouldn't you go for a guy like John Collins instead of Jeremy Grant? Like, that would be my mindset. But I don't know. There's a ton of talks up in the air. Chin with the $5 super chat says, if you can get rid of Toby's contract, you do it. Nothing else needs to be said. I'm just trying to get a gauge of, like, where do you guys think we are as a franchise? Like, is this season just done? Are we just going to offload those contracts? Are we going to sit back and say, all right, Joel Embiid can go out here and put up 30 a night and we're going to lay back? I actually don't think we're, like, so far off as to, like, there's no chance we couldn't make any noise if we get another player. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Rob. I was doing something on this thing. Sorry.
I mean, I don't think we're far off either because Embiid's that good. Like, I'll take anything. I'll take Halliburton. I'll take DeJounte Murray. I'll take Cam Reddish and John Collins. Like, I'll take anything at this point for Ben Simmons. Like, what do you think, Garby?
I mean, at this point, so what I was trying to, like, not get into too deep earlier is, like, I want to get rid of this guy for almost anything. You know, we're not going to get a difference maker, and I don't know why we're still trying to sell people on that. And if you guys heard the report yesterday that we're not even finding him anymore, I have a feeling that this is actually not going to happen anymore. And I don't like to feel that way because I might actually lose my mind because,
like, period, like, not even the offseason.
No, in the offseason, yeah, maybe. Oh. But at that point, like you guys used to say, if his value is already depleted, you're telling me we're going to wait another 5 months and then somebody's going to come out of the blue like, all right, let's go get him right now. Like, what are we actually going to get? I don't know how people are now saying, like, oh, you know, we're going to get James Harden, this and that. No, like, the gig is up, okay? This guy has actually screwed us just by not doing anything. Like, it's insane. And I don't know where to go from here. Like, I really don't. And I'm praying with everything I have that with like a week and a half to go to the deadline, some like big team comes out and is like, all right, talks are heating up. Because if not, like, ever since the mental health aspect came up, we haven't even heard about him. The last thing I heard was today was that he's getting married.
Bro, he pulled the ultimate card, man. He pulled the ultimate card in 2022 right when he said that, the Sixers were hands were tied, man. You had to walk on thin ice. Can't say the wrong thing. Can't fine him because that's not helping his mental health and all this. You're gonna the way I think it's quiet right now, but when we get close to the trade deadline, you know how it goes, man. It's gonna be a week of just rumor after rumor after rumor. Things are gonna start to happen. I have faith. There's gonna be a lot of bottom of the barrel teams that, you watch Ben Simmons' career highlights. A terrible team could be like, I want that guy on my team. I don't care about, him quitting on Philly and I also think, and I said this in a stream last night, Doc Rivers defending him that whole season and arguing with the media and Philly fans. I think they were having this strategic perception painting. Like, let's blame Philly fans the entire time, because then maybe other teams will be like, oh, Philly fans are just jerks. Ben didn't want to play there because they hate him. We'll take him. So maybe they're actually geniuses.
Yeah, I think closer to the deadline, you're definitely going to hear rumor after rumor. But like at the same time, I could see Morey just kind of chilling and just not doing anything and then just waiting till the offseason, because I think teams will even get more desperate because the Kings, trust me, I've been watching them play recently. They're going to keep losing. So they're going to be like, oh, Fox and Halliburton, they're not the future. Let's go get Ben. And it's probably going to be the same thing for the Spurs and other teams like that. So I think the goal with the Simmons deal, if you can't get like a Beal, like, is Bradley Beal still available? Because the Wizards have been losing a lot recently. Is he still? So if you can't get a Beal, because that's like the only realistic difference maker that you could get for Simmons. If you can't get that, then the goal should be get a young player with potential that you can put next to Maxey, and Maxey and that person can grow together. And then when Embiid is past his prime, whatever, he starts regressing, he can give the keys to Maxey and say we get Cam Reddish. So Maxey and Cam Reddish are the future. I think that should be the goal if you can't like get a difference maker that's going to help you win now. And I think Embiid is good enough where he could play with young talent and get the best out of them, like Maxey and Cam Reddish. Even though they're both young, I think they could still be beneficial players that could help you in the playoffs.
I think you both made good points, honestly. But I want to ask you guys a question. But before I do that, Seth with the $2 donation says, Tobias hurting this team, doing way too much selfish. Interesting way to describe him. Aaron with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. Says Toby would be really good if when he's colder than Antarctica, instead of taking 20 shots, he looks around and says, oh, Maxey's doing well, or Seth is on fire. Let me not take the contested floater. Dude, Maxey and Curry, like Curry will start a game 6 for 7 and then he goes quiet. He doesn't even get the ball. I don't understand. Like Curry is he's one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion, for the production he puts up. And then we've seen Tyrese catch himself like on fire. And, obviously he's out sick now, which sucks. But that last game when it was Maxey and Embiid and Tobias actually deferred a big 3-pointer late in the game and we got a huge win against Brooklyn, like, that's what I want to see, man. And I think if you add another scorer, like the formula is literally there. But then do you have faith in Doc Rivers? Like,
hell no.
Dude, it's tough.
I was just going to say that when talking about Tobias Harris. Doc Rivers falls in love with the wrong players, and he's obsessed with Tobias Harris. I think that's part of the problem, too, with Tobias taking bad shots and having way too many shot attempts and things like that, because Doc thinks he's revived him and he's Clippers or Detroit or Clippers Tobias Harris, and he needs to be like the star of this team or one of them, and he's not. I have no faith in Doc Rivers. I actually think he secretly got fired when Dan Burke coached for 2 games. Everything looked better. The rotations looked better. Maxey dropped 25. Isaiah Joe dropped 18, and Doc wouldn't even play the kid at all. He had DNPs in like COVID games, and then all of a sudden, Isaiah Joe's still a part of the rotation. And the team still looks as good as it did when Dan Burke took over. So I think Doc got fired and Dan Burke's coaching, and they're just not telling us.
I know we haven't talked in a while, but one quick point that you just made about Dan Burke. You know what the best thing about Dan Burke was to me? It was that after that Tobias debacle, he sat up there and didn't just blatantly excuse him. You know, he sat up there and was like, you know, we go through tough things. We're players, but, you know, we talk to him and we're trying to really keep things between the lines. You know, like we have to block out the noise. I thought that spoke so many volumes. Like you're an interim coach for a game or two, and you come in here and hold these guys to a standard. Like it's not like Doc who just immediately defend. Like I enjoyed that. Like he didn't put him on blast, but he didn't just say like he wasn't at fault or anything. Like he actually saw both sides, and I thought that was good.
Yeah, he wasn't going to sit up there in a press conference and talk about the fans and say like, you know, I just think you guys should appreciate him more and like blah blah blah. Like, yeah, he was like doing a good job of not blaming either side or not coming at either side and just saying like we got to keep it in the locker room.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But anyway, I want to ask you guys. So,
wait, I got a question for you guys.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, would you rather trade Tobias? And that would mean you can't trade Ben, or trade Ben and you keep Tobias.
DJ, you go ahead and take that one.
Would I rather trade Tobias? That means I can't trade Ben?
I mean, I don't see like.
Does that mean trading Ben and play?
No, it just means he's going to be sitting out to the offseason.
I don't know. I'd rather trade Ben. I mean, at least Tobias is playing.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not a.
Is he really playing?
He's not a solidified number two. He's not what we need next to Joel Embiid. But that's tough, man. I'm so annoyed with Ben Simmons. Well, I mean, how long has it been that I've been annoyed with Ben Simmons? But so the picture surfaced today of him and his fiance. Right? Did you see this? And he just has this smirk on his face. He's just living the best life right now, doing jack shit. While his teammates are out here busting their ass every night, trying to get to a better seed in the playoffs. This guy's just so unbelievable to me. I mean, I guess what's he supposed to do? He's not supposed to not go outside, but I just don't get it, man. You literally quit, and now he's getting paid again. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I also side with that. I want to trade Ben, and I want to add a point to that real quick. By the way, shout out to Plotnik with the $5 super chat. Says Sean Philly's back, but Doc definitely spent Christmas with Ben this year. He probably did. Yeah, I got to add a point to that. Can we talk for just 1 second how the NBA has not stepped in one bit yet? Like nobody talks about this. Like everybody in like Philly media world, like if this was the Lakers, right? How fast would the NBA have stepped in and made a resolution? Are they just going to sit here and act like nothing? In fact, the Players Association executive director, she's retiring. She pretty much said it's the Sixers' fault, and we haven't heard a peep out of Adam Silver or anybody. Like, how is this still going on with nothing at all?
It's crazy. Well, I think part of it's Daryl Morey not playing the game, because a lot of front offices would have been like, okay, we don't want to give in, but at the same time, we don't want this situation to linger. Daryl Morey's just playing hardball. He's like, you want to do this? I can do this. And he said on the radio he's willing to sit for 4 years, which is not what anybody wants, but it's two egos that are not budging, and I don't know what the NBA can really do about it, honestly.
I mean, if you're the NBA, though, this is literally bringing down your product. Like, this is like we talked about at the beginning of the season. I remember us talking about this. Like, this is literally going to pave a way for other players to just sit out when they don't feel like they're in the right situation or this or that. Like, I mean, the NBA, like how I just don't get it. But
he did lose $10 million. Not many people are going to do that.
Yeah, but they said they're not fining him anymore.
Yeah, that's annoying.
What do you think, Romp? Should the NBA step in at all, or should they just let this go on the whole season?
Do
they not even care at this point?
I just think we should trade him, to be honest. But we've been asking that for years, so I don't think it's going to happen. I'm with you, RB. I mean, if it hasn't happened yet, why would it happen at the deadline?
Well, that's actually
when teams get desperate.
I want to ask you guys, and I want y'all to take the floor and just give me your honest thoughts. But like, if we don't trade this guy at the deadline, like, I'm sorry, but everybody talking about, we can get James Harden in the offseason. We can get this. We can get that. I'm sorry, but I do not want to hear that anymore. I've had it up to here. I'm done. Like, if we don't trade this guy, Do you know how disrespectful that is to Joel Embiid? And Joel has been a good sport about this. He's been a leader. He's actually building chemistry with Maxey. Do you know, like, I'm tired of this crap year after year after year. Like, first it was in September, then it was November, then it was at the trade deadline. Now we want to push it another 6 months after what happened in the playoffs last year. Do you know, like, and Embiid just keeps getting better. He's like, screw it. I'm going to learn how to become a facilitator. This guy keeps getting better.
It's crazy.
The other night, I mean, this guy fell down like 4 times. I literally hold my breath every time he hits the deck. I'm like, you never know. So we're just going to sit here another year and waste this kind of bad. Like, I'm sorry. I've had enough, man. What do you guys think?
No, I feel you. I think it is disrespectful to Joel Embiid. I say it a lot. His main issue is that he's too humble. His main issue is that he's not from a culture that's, I don't know. Giannis is the same way. He doesn't really care about being popular celebrity. He doesn't have an ego. People outside of this fan base think he does because he's cocky on the court and stuff like that. But he's way too humble. He's way too quiet. If he could just get a little bit of, like, I deserve something to happen here mindset and start yelling at people, maybe something would happen faster. I wish he was a little bit more of an aggressive, like, jerk when it comes to how he's being treated, because you're right, it is disrespectful to him. And if it doesn't happen at the deadline, it's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this guy's going out there, like you said, diving on the floor, doing absolutely everything, running to the perimeter, playing perimeter defense at 7 feet tall, like doing absolutely everything for the entire team. And you're doing nothing to help him out. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a blessing in disguise that we kind of waited this long, because without, Ben Simmons sitting out and all that, Joel probably doesn't, turn into Giannis when he gets a rebound and pushes up the court. Now we don't get to see that side of Embiid if Ben was back or if we traded for a point guard. So if you sit out Ben Simmons for the whole year and just see what Joel turns into with a whole season where he's the guy, he's the offense, and he's doing whatever it takes, like, you're really going to get to see what Joel Embiid is truly capable of with no help around him. And then once you see that, you could kind of, like, dictate what you want around him. Because initially, we were all like, we need a point guard. But now I'm like, we need like a small forward scoring athletic player next to him and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think we need like a pure point guard anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a little blessing in disguise.
So just to clarify, you're okay with us just going the rest of the season and just seeing what we pretty much need for the future around Embiid?
I don't mind it. I would love to trade Ben Simmons for Halliburton, but like, there's a report that came out, the Sixers, they don't see there's enough in a Halliburton deal. But like I was saying, like, Halliburton has to be attached to Buddy Hield. He has to be attached to Harrison Barnes for the money to work out. So you're not just getting Halliburton, you're getting other quality players. But according to that report, the Sixers weren't interested. So like, if they're not interested in that deal, it's like, I don't see them getting interested in anything coming up at the trade deadline. I just see them being spoiled and trying to wait for this difference maker. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm starting to think the same way, but I'm just not going to go for that. I'm sorry, because like we drafted these guys at a point in time where we were one of the most laughable franchises. We were literally losing games on purpose. Like, this was supposed to be the point, like the climax, like, all right, time to push it in. And now it's like, what, are we going to take 3 steps backwards and just like kind of try it again? Like, I just can't go for that, and Joel has not been given sufficient help. And you know what? Yeah, you're right. Morey's not interested in anything. Why? Because the guy has no value. He has no value. And it's like, I get where Morey's coming from. Like, he's in a tough spot. He's like,
you're telling me the Kings are not giving you Halliburton? Come on.
No,
they're the Kings, bro. They suck. Dude,
So
I was
nobody's
watching
off
them
the table.
yesterday. Halliburton drove to the lane and kicked it out to Alex fucking Len. That's how bad the Kings are.
Alex,
Alex
and you-
Len is shooting threes for the Kings.
And do they want to get worse? They're getting worse.
They're
by
not
doing
getting
that.
worse if you get Ben Simmons in their head. There's no way they think that. There's no way. With
they're
how
not getting-
bad
they're
they
not
are
getting
right now.
worse. I always say this. I'm the biggest Ben Simmons hater in the world. He would make a team like the Kings better just with his defensive facilitating, and if he could be a little bit version of his aggressive self, going to the rim and finishing hard and stuff. I think he really fell off in Philly once he started to flop in the playoffs and he gave up. But I think, maybe somebody can get a little bit out of him. I don't think he'll ever be the superstar that he had the potential to be, but as bad as a team like the Kings are, I think you get a 6'10" guy that can do what Ben Simmons does.
Yeah, but the thing
I think
is,
it makes
the
you
King-
better.
like, I agree with that, but the Kings are sitting here thinking, we drafted these two young stud guards. Like, we drafted Fox a few years ago, paid him a max contract. We got Halliburton. We'll give you guys Harrison Barnes. We'll give you some scrubs. Like,
I'll take
we're not
Harrison
going to
Barnes.
trade a good piece like Halliburton. Like, I want him bad. I would love him on this team, but it's like, you got to show me something first. That's probably what they're saying. Like, get the guy
So
back.
you
on
don't
the
believe the reports is what you're getting at.
What
Which
is it?
Which report specifically?
I don't know. I just believe anything.
I've done that for the
There's
last
so
6
many reports. It's like,
and-
I don't even know what to believe, what not to believe,
Right. I agree.
Can I go back to the James Harden thing for a second? Why are we still doing this with James Harden? I don't want James Harden.
Yeah, me either. Go on.
Look at what happened. I said in the beginning of, like, I don't even know anymore. Time's flying and the Ben Simmons thing has lasted forever. But I said I didn't want James Harden, I feel like 2 years ago, and people came at me, but he's a natural talent. He hangs out in strip clubs all off season. He doesn't take care of his body. He shows up fat. He can't play a whole season. The last how many seasons now? Last year he came back, literally played the first 5 minutes of a game and pulled his hamstring again, and now he's injured right now. I want nothing to do with James Harden. 25-year-old James Harden, hell yeah.
I agree with that, bro.
Oh man.
Give me Kyrie for Ben, though. I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
I don't
Right
know.
now.
I don't know what the Nets are doing. I don't
Well,
know.
now he wouldn't be allowed to play in Philly now anyway.
Wait,
Yeah,
are you
because,
serious?
Yeah, we got the same mandates that New York has.
Well,
now.
never mind.
Yeah, who knows, man? Connor with the $5 donation says 2-5 for John Wall and 3 first-rounders. They could be high picks for the lottery or enticing trade assets. Throw Daniel Green in the trade. I mean, if we're going the pick route, maybe, but I still don't want a $44 million John Wall on this team. Like,
No.
there's
Yeah,
just a
but
lot
he only has 2 years left, while Tobias has 3, I believe. So it's a
Yeah,
little
but it's
better.
just like- I mean, it's a little better, but it's
A
just
little
like,
better.
yeah. It's just,
The picks would be good. I'd rather get some of their young talent.
I don't know why the Rockets would trade picks though, since they're in a rebuild.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Every situation has just kind of crumbled at this point. It's tough, man.
If you think, I mean, honestly, if you really think about that, Jalen Green and those guys, what does Ben Simmons need around him to be successful? Like ball handling guards that are willing to shoot. Maybe they would look at that as a plus. Add Ben Simmons into that like young core.
Maybe. Andre with the $2 donation. Why isn't Embiid pressuring Morey for a trade? Yeah, it's what we kind of talked about. He's just a nice guy, man. Like
And he doesn't have an agent.
Yeah. What is the point where he comes out and starts to actually say something? Will it ever happen? Like, it's
I think he believes he could do it himself. I think he does.
He probably does, but I think his one of his issues is he doesn't have an agent because he's just a humble guy, and he's like, "No, I'll do my own contracts. I'll do this. I'll do that." Like, if he had an agent, there would have been meetings a long time ago. Like, yo, what's going on here? My client's nice and quiet, but I'm the agent. I'm not nice. I want something to happen.
I mean, we're starting to see him call out different players on the team. Like I feel like he's trying to take that step to be more vocal, but I don't know, man. We need some dogs on this team, and we need another big time player. I don't know how the Sixers haven't pulled something off yet. I really don't, because Daryl Morey has to be working tirelessly on this. Like, he has to. This guy loves Joel Embiid more than anybody. Like, he has to see where this team is at. This is the guy that acquired star upon star in Houston. You can't tell me he's just sitting around. Like, I really feel like his hands are just tied, Because I feel like that he's calling up these teams like, yo, let me get 3 first rounders and this player. And they're like, yeah, call us back and we'll give you a couple role players. Like, and he's like, all right, screw it. I don't know what to do.
He's gonna come down in price, man. I don't think it's possible for it to go past the trade deadline. Like the city of Philly will burn the Wells Fargo Center down.
It might, honestly. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Sixers fans are just turned off the rest of the season if this doesn't happen. Like, imagine if we don't make any moves at all. You got to do something. How about even the bench? Like something little, right? Like, I like the guys that come off the bench, but we still need more consistency on the bench, right? Like, we're not complete.
Yeah, when we win, those are the games where Niang's hitting threes, Furkan's hitting threes, Shake's doing well off the bench. By the way, Shake has had a very underrated season, in my opinion. But why are people so opposed to just trading Ben for picks and role players, since our main issue in the playoffs is when Joel Embiid goes out of the game, we suck. So, like, if we get actual consistent role players, maybe we actually do something in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of our guys are just shooters. So, you know what I mean? When they're on, we're good. When they're all ice cold, when Korkmaz is 1 for 11 and Niang's 2 for 7, and when they're all cold, our bench is bad. So we just need more ballers on this team. It's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm watching Memphis. I'm watching Memphis right now, man, and it's like, God.
Yeah, they have dogs on the team.
That team.
And that's why I like Niang, because even if he's not shooting well, like he's going to find a way to like get in somebody's face or just rattle something up. Drummond, you know, he has some good nights, but maybe like this is why I said earlier, I don't think we're that far off. Like if you think about what Curry can do on a given night on this team, and then you think about what Maxey can do at this point early in his career, like, do you really think we're that far off if we get into a playoff series? Like, we have dudes that can score, but it's just like the little things. Like you said, like we can't have these nights where we're going like 2 for 18 from long range. Like it just can't happen. And a lot of that, you know, we take the starters out. You know, Doc, he loves the all bench lineup. Then we give up a 13-0 run. Like that can't happen in the playoffs. And he keeps doing it.
I'm telling you, one of the things that changed recently that I noticed in the last game too is Danny Green didn't play like 40 minutes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like it seems like and they just signed Charlie Brown to a 2-way. Like somebody stood up and said, "Hey, we need some guys that can do things. You know, some young athletes that can dribble, pass, and shoot. Get rid of these 47-year-old has-beens."
What do you guys think about Danny Green? You think he makes
the line? Dude, cut that dude immediately.
Yeah, there's not much left there anymore.
Dude, I can't watch him run anymore. Pisses me off.
You know what? His full speed pull up. It's like a no, and then it
yeah,
goes
you know it's going up now because we've seen it so many times. He always does that.
It's like such a bad shot, like where he is on the court and where the defense is, and then it goes in, and I'm kind of like, okay, whatever, Danny.
What is he thinking?
He even shoots it. Like, why does he even pull up? Like, he thinks he can pull up off the dribble sometimes. I'm like, Danny, stop. Like, if you want to talk about a dude benefiting from 2-5, that's the guy right there. Like,
yeah.
He would drive and kick, and Danny was wide open. Now it's like, I'm like, what are you doing, Danny? You were the guy that sat out here and pried us for $10 million. And it's like,
he can't even play defense anymore. So get that out of here, too. He can't move his legs.
Thibault starting now. What do you think?
I'm falling for the Thibault love because he's actually making himself usable offensively. Unlike 2-5, for some reason, can't cut hard and make himself available for Joel Embiid. And then when he gets it, he'll dunk it. Unlike 2-5, will throw up a weird hook shot. So Thibault is on my good side right now, and his defense is very good. And also, Furkan Korkmaz is a better rebounder than Tobias Harris. That's how trash Tobias is at rebounding.
I'll take a shot.
Beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. When Romp's out, where's the time going, man? Romp's out here supporting Matisse, man. I love it. I love this.
I hate his smiling though, bro. He smiles way too much, bro. It's ridiculous.
He can't smile.
And the thing about Matisse is like he just has to learn how to use little offensive like skills he does have. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to try to do too much. I mean, he's never gonna like triple threat jab step, drive past somebody and dunk on somebody. Like he just needs to do his thing, cut to the basket, shoot it when he catches it and he's open, and not try to do too much.
How about Joel Embiid calling him out in a press conference, and then he comes out with back-to-back games of 10 points? Imagine that. Imagine laughing it off and taking criticism, right? And
remember when Joe did it to Maxey when he was like, "Man, you were trash tonight. You were 2 for 11," and they laugh about it.
25 points, man.
What is it about the Ben Simmons ego that was never a possibility? Nobody could ever look at Ben Simmons and say that, or they never would. Nobody would even say anything to him for 5 years.
Yep. And then the one time they do.
Why didn't anybody just jokingly in a press conference say, "Ben, you should have shot that 3, man"? Like, like nobody would do it.
Crazy. And then here we are now, which is absolutely insane. K-Cell with the $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to the crew. Big shout out to Eastwood. Glad to see you back, bro.
Glad to be back, man. Hey, I need you guys to help me get back in the YouTube algorithm, all right? So hit the like button. I need the like buttons, man. I need the like buttons.
Frauds.
Exactly. Hit the thumbs up, man. Hope Platinum with the $5 donation. Only trade that works is 2-5 for Brandon Ingram straight up. What do you guys think? Brandon Ingram.
Give me it.
I would do that in a heartbeat. Why would the Pelicans do that? Not that they're good or anything, but unless they completely give up on Zion Williamson ever coming back, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you guys want to talk about the Kings? How about the Pelicans? Like, Zion was supposed to be back how long ago? He was supposed to be back to start the season, and now it's like, look where they're at. Like, I don't know how they can even rebound from this, but.
What was that draft? Was he number 1 and LaMelo was number 3? Was that draft?
He was number 1. Barrett was number 2. And then who was number 3 in that draft? It was 18. I forget. LaMelo was the year after, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
See, people would be like, but we have Tobias if you get Brandon Ingram. So it's like, should you trade Tobias first and then make a Ben Simmons deal? So you actually could use the guy you trade for? Because
I can't do that, though. Because, like, what if we trade Tobias and 2-5 still doesn't play? Then what? What? Let me ask you guys.
I'm fine with him not playing.
Or is he going to play?
This is just a stall. We're stalling this year.
Yeah, but
we have a chance because Embiid is playing so well.
How can you be fine with wasting this magnificence from Joel Embiid?
Because I don't think there even is a way to do what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? There's no deal out there that's going to put you over the top. So why rush it when you could get rid of Tobias because he's pure garbage and that contract is terrible.
I'm not even mad about it for basketball reasons. I'm mad about it because this dude's walking to his mailbox and getting a $600,000 check in the mail. I can't take it for doing nothing.
I want to win, and you know what? If we're gonna take a 4-step trail backwards, you know what? Blow up the entire team at this point.
We're not taking a step backwards. We're better than last year. I mean, we're going to be better in the playoffs because we don't have a gaping hole named Ben Simmons
good right now, and we're playing where we could have 2 more players in the rotation. Like, we could be a team that goes far in the playoffs. You can't tell me that, like, if the Sixers don't make at least an adequate trade at the deadline, that they can't go far in the playoffs. Like, this could be that underdog type of team. Like, if we are on fire.
Morey's not going to take the deal that you're talking about, bro. He wants the big deal.
That's fine. And he is going to hear criticism because I can't sit here and be okay. Like, if we go to the deadline and we don't make a trade, I'm just frustrated at that point. Like, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm sorry. Because then, you know what's going to happen? We're going to get to June, right? Oh, well, I'm hearing that at next trade deadline, the Timberwolves are going to be interested. No, I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of it too. And I'm unfollowing every Sixers news Instagram page. Like, I follow people back out of the kindness of my heart. You know what I mean? Sixers news or Sixers updates or Sixers whatever. And every day now it's something I don't want to see from 1,000 different pages. John Collins trade or whatever else. It's never going to happen.
John Collins pissed you off, bro. You were pissed at that.
Because I'm tired of it. How long has it been now? He's now been rumored to be traded to every single team in the league.
Exactly. And I need to hear from the people that 4 months ago sat here and said, every team. I remember arguing with this one guy on Twitter who said there would be, according to, I think it was Keith Pompey, there would be 6 to 8 teams in the mix by the time the deadline came around. Where are the 6 to 8 teams? Where's this bid going on? There is none because the guy won't play. So,
dude, I swear if Morey brings in James Harden, I'm going to laugh so hard because that's such a Morey move to bring in James Harden.
I mean, he brought in James Harden in his prime in Houston.
He loves James Harden though.
I don't know what Morey's going to do, but the NBA should honestly just award us a first-round pick at this point. They should award us and they should just cut him off the team. Let him sign a $2 million deal. His deal gets voided, and that's how it goes. I just have had enough. I'm frustrated.
Pope Platinum Beats, man, member of the channel, said I unfollowed all the Sixers Facebook groups because I keep getting banned for cussing out these clowns on there. I got banned on Facebook back-to-back 30 days. I got freed for 30 days. I was out for 2 days and got banned again. So I feel you.
It's crazy, man. J Abs with the $2 donation. Who would y'all trade for Tobias, though? I'm not trading Tobias. I'm trading 2-5 and then seeing how it plays out first. But
Harrison Barnes, attach Tobias and a pick, and I think you could get Harrison Barnes, and that would immediately make us a way better team. Way better. Because yes, he's way better than Tobias. Dude,
he's still really good.
Dude, we could get rid of Tobias and get nothing in return, and we would be better off. Because, like I said on the last Sixers Takeover, George Niang is better than Tobias.
Yeah, I'll start Niang and play I don't know.
How about
Charles
Tobias?
Bassey.
He should just be a mentor at this point, since he's such a great veteran leader. Just hold book sessions, and just not play because he's just hard to watch. And he makes us.
I think you guys are grading him off the Tobias that is being asked to be a second option when he's obviously not one. He's more like a fourth option.
Yeah, but this is year 3 now, and he has come up short He came up short every playoff run, and it's always been the same issues with him. Will her over dribble, miss easy shots, come up short. So it's it's not going to change. So I
don't know about that. He had a really good year last year, and
good regular season. He was trash in the playoffs.
Okay, who on his team played better than him?
Played better than Tobias. Tobias was our second best player last year,
right?
Besides the playoffs, Seth Curry was
better than Tobias. So if we say he's trash, then we got to look at everybody else below him. I think Joel and Curry played better than him in the playoffs. I think them two played better than him in the playoffs.
I think if you take off Tobias, I think he was a big problem in that Hawks series. Same with Doc Rivers. Ben was a big problem, obviously. But if you take away Tobias because of his unwillingness to shoot threes, Ben gets a little more space, and I feel like he would have played a lot better. You just can't have Joel Embiid, Ben, and Tobias. It just doesn't work.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree. You can't have all three of them, but I'm not.
We just got to get off that contract, RB. That's what I'm saying.
I agree 100%. That contract and and him being asked to be a second option when he's not one is the problem.
But he thinks he's a second option.
Yeah, but Doc,
he plays like he is.
Okay, but if you get another scorer on this team, he's not. We saw him defer to Maxey before Maxey went into health and safety protocols. Late in that game, Tobias was wide open. He kicks it to the corner. Maxey knocks down a three.
But the thing about Tobias is even if he's playing good, it doesn't matter because he'll always revert back into he has bad situational shot selection. So even if he's 10 for 10, there's always a chance at the end of the game he'll just go up post-up mode and just dribble for 10 seconds and take a horrible shot. So it's
But
even if he's playing good, I can't appreciate him because I'm always thinking, oh God, Tobias next possession, he's gonna throw up a horrible shot. That's the problem with him.
I get what you're saying, honestly. And I'm just saying though, and tell me what you think. Like, if we just say we get another score, right? Like we get a wing player that can maybe put up like 20 a game, right? Just say. Does Tobias still try to be the guy on this team?
He can't be a complimentary piece because he's unwilling to shoot threes. He likes to dribble.
Complimentary piece last year, though. He was shooting. I agree. His 3-point shooting is the main issue. Like he's got to start hitting shots. But the problem is, again, he has better defenders on him, and he can't even beat Eric Gordon off the dribble. So it's like
he can't play make. He can't do anything.
Can't beat Al Horford off the dribble.
You got to knock down some shots, Toby. But again, like if you get another lethal scorer, they're going to be like, all right, let's game plan against the Sixers. We're going up against Joel. Send a double. You got another score, and you got Tyrese Maxey, even Curry.
No one's afraid of Tobias. No one.
But I'm saying
he lives off of mismatches.
Right. They won't be really paying attention to him as much.
Yeah, but then he'll be like, oh, they're playing off of me. Let's post up. And then he'll just ruin the offensive flow. I would rather a guy who just sits in the corner like Danny Green, but like Harrison Barnes, and just sits in his corner. And when he gets the ball, he either shoots it or drives and then makes a pass. But Tobias, if he drives, it's probably going up because he gets tunnel vision. He never passes out. And if he does, it's a second late and he can't get off the shot.
I just think the mentality would be different with another big-time player on this team. Maybe not even a star, just another scorer, but maybe not. But
we did have a star, Ben Simmons.
Not on offense.
That's true.
On defense, maybe, but
I'm just so sick of watching Tobias play basketball, bro.
I can't imagine Ben Simmons playing. I can't even picture.
He's not playing.
I think he's going to retire.
Yes. Can we break? Thank you, DJ. I'm glad you're back, bro.
When people are talking about the Boston Celtics trade, listen, there's 3 cities that are hard to play in that I can think of off the top of my head: Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. There's no way in a million years Ben Simmons is walking into TD Garden. There's absolutely no way. The first time he catches the ball at the top of the key, they will literally hang him from the rafters. They already hate Ben. Boston Celtics fans hate Ben Simmons.
And this is why I said before the season, there is a hot take that he will not play anymore. And you saw that picture today. Like, does he look bothered? No. Has he been in the gym? No. Maybe on his own personal gym.
They said he's now participating in, what did they say? Team activities?
Yeah. Okay.
Not like with other players. Activities. It can't be.
What team activities?
It is the era, too. In the 90s, this dude would have got knocked out in the locker room halfway through his 3rd season. There would have been fist fights in the locker room because people would have felt disrespected. But it's just such a different era now.
He's told me all I need to know. If he cared, like if he even liked the game, he would be here. He would be at least practicing. For example, John Wall, he wasn't playing, right? And he was just hanging with the team, chilling on the sideline. There's something like this has been the craziest thing ever. And you just can't tell me the drive is there like that. I just don't see it.
No, the drive is not there. I mean, he can, he'll never make $200 million, but he might be content with just being like a random celebrity. Hey, there's that guy that used to play ball. Like, he might just be like, that's fine.
Yes. This is why I do.
As long as I got that blue check, I'm good.
Right. And this is why I think the Kings, which I've been saying all along, is the team he's going to go to. Because what do you do in Sacramento? You get paid, you play ball, and you just don't win. Like, there's no expectations. You just go to Sacramento and have a good time and just kind of float around on the floor. But,
the Ben situation is the weirdest thing. Somebody who said Kane Scott, the Ben situation is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in sports. Yeah, it is. And you know what? The second weirdest thing I've ever seen in sports, the Markelle Fultz situation. So what the hell is it with this team?
Yeah, what is it? That's truth. Sean, $10 donation. Appreciate it. Says Toby's a 4th option in the playoffs, but who's better, Toby or Sixers Iguodala?
Sixers Iggy.
Yeah, I would say Iguodala without a doubt, but
he can't even be a 4th option though. That's the thing.
Who, Tobias?
He doesn't have he can't be a role player because he doesn't play defense. He can't get rebounds. He consistently gives up offensive rebounds. It's like, and then he's unwilling to shoot 3-pointers. He's just not good anymore.
Yeah.
If he had a 3-point shot, it's different.
Sixers Iggy couldn't shoot, but that dude would dunk from the foul line. You didn't have to worry about him going up weak with his left hand and throwing it off the top of the backboard. He would just dunk on everybody.
Yeah. In terms of Tobias Harris, I think he can easily be a fourth option. I think easily. And I mean, even if not, like I said, you got Maxey, Curry. Curry should get more touches on this team. Maxey should get a ton of touches. I don't know. I don't know, man.
He's a bench player on a championship team.
That's
probably the seventh man.
That's a huge take.
The seventh man.
I'm serious, dude. When Iggy went to the Warriors, he still couldn't shoot, but he could guard the best guy and rebound. But Tobias can't do that.
Yeah, but then
that's the biggest thing that pisses me off about Tobias is he doesn't hustle. That's the one thing that gets me mad.
You know what I have to say to that? You talked about how bad he was in the playoffs last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know why, again, the spotlight was on him? Because our other player, who I will not name, didn't play. He didn't even do anything. So, they didn't have to worry about him.
That's true. Can't argue with that.
I'm trying to tell people that man was the cause of everything. He was the root of it. Everything, man. I don't even know how we got the number 1 seed, honestly.
Last year, yeah, COVID and injuries, and we hardly played a team with anybody on it. It was hard to take serious, honestly.
It's just frustrating, man.
Do you think this year's team's better with Joel all of a sudden getting passing skills and playing like Giannis if he keeps this up?
I think so, yeah, because there's also more complementary pieces around him. Guys like George Niang and Isaiah Joe when he gets minutes, and Tyrese Maxey playing like he is. A lot more combo guards on the floor.
I can't say yes or no until we see what happens with this situation. If this is going to be our team the entire year, then I guess we'll have to assess it at that point. But it's frustrating, man. We're even treading water right now, and now we're on a 7-game win streak, and it's you got to be motivated to do something, in my opinion. But 360 people in here. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate you all being in here, hanging out with the guys. We're back talking Sixers. Give us some thoughts, comments. Sub up all these guys on the banner below. I guess the last kind of we'll talk is just what else does this team need? What else does this team need? What do you guys think, man? If there was before the trade deadline comes up in a month, what else does this team need to do to put themselves in position to, be a really good team in the second half?
Stay healthy, I guess, first of all. We're still missing important players. What else outside of the Ben Simmons trade?
Yeah, do we trade for a bench scorer? Do we, upgrade at the backup 2, backup 3? What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't hurt. I think it's always good to have someone coming off the bench that's better than the guys that we have coming off the bench, I guess. It's hard for me to even think about.
It is. I feel
it's hard to think about anything outside of a trade.
I feel like we're just up here, just I feel like we've been in this state all season where it's all right, we're doing good, we're showing signs. Let's anticipate this trade.
Yeah, shout out to the 360 people that are still listening to us say the same exact thing we say on every single episode.
Back like we never left. Let me ask you this. All right, we'll shift it a little bit. We go through the trade deadline. We don't make any significant trades. What is your reaction? Romp, we'll start with you.
Is Tobias Harris a significant trade?
Yes. Damn. We don't trade him. We don't trade 2-5. We just go and get maybe a backup, guard or something. What is your take at that point?
If there's rumors of trades that I like, I'll be pissed off. But if there's rumors of trades I don't like, I'll be okay, whatever. Joel Embiid's going to carry us. I don't know. I'll be pissed off, obviously, but something has to happen, right?
If we go through the trade deadline and nothing happens, it'll be a blessing in disguise because I'll get my YouTube views back because I will protest outside the Wells Fargo Center myself. I don't know. It would just be unbelievable. And like you said, disrespectful to Joel Embiid. It's crazy. Something
so you guys
has
are
to
trying to
happen.
riot, is what you're saying. You guys are down to go to the Wells Fargo and maybe we'll be those guys that Jason Dumas was talking about outside of the practice facility, holding up.
I might just like pitch a tent, like on the sidewalk in front of the Wells Fargo Center, and say, "I'm living here until they trade Ben Simmons," and just sit there with a sign every day.
Jay Abs with the $5 donation says Elton Brand is the source of all Sixers problems. You got to timeline everything from when he first became the GM all the way up until now. I don't know how he's still a part of this organization, man.
It's crazy. Listen, it's bad ownership. It's why we're always in the situation we're in. The Sixers ownership reminds me of the Miami Dolphins. It's an owner that has no clue what he's doing, thinks he has every clue about what he's doing, and just makes terrible decision after terrible decision.
So does that mean we're going to fire our coach, though?
No, but I'm just saying, like, just bad decision after bad decision. Like when Ryan Fitzpatrick was about to lead them to the playoffs, and the coach or the owner basically made the coach bench him for Tua, and then this year they fire the coach who had them back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in like 100 years. But yeah, just the Brett Brown interim GM and then hiring Elton Brand was unbelievable. It was the biggest disaster in modern day sports.
Oh man, Bridges is on his way this year. You know, he's playing really good. So
all we've done since that is like, what have we done? Nothing.
Yeah. RJ with the $2 donation. Shout out to him being a channel member. Says EB deserves blame for paying Harrison Horford. I try to tell people this all the time, and there's even some Elton Brand defenders out there, which is like, you know, we don't pay these guys. We're not in this situation, so it's just tough, man. It really is. Andre with the $5 super chat. Who's been lazier this year, Simmons or Morey?
Dude, Morey's just collecting a check, bro.
So what's Simmons doing?
You don't think Daryl Morey cares at all? You don't think he wants to have a legacy? He wants to finally win a championship?
I don't believe in that dude, bro. He's overrated.
I think he wants to win a championship. So he doesn't go down in history as the guy that's like an aggressive trade maker that never won anything.
Of course he wants to win a championship. He was so close in Houston. He was so close. And, you know, I just feel like he's probably just in his office, like, you know, sweating, like hair all over the place. He's probably just like throwing his papers down. Like he's probably just pissed off. He's like, what else do I do?
Every day he calls teams back. All right, guys, listen. I'll give you Ben for 5 first-round picks.
See, we crown these dudes like Morey, who's a good GM, because we're so used to garbage. He's just a solid GM, not a championship level GM.
You know what the problem is, Romp?
What?
Even before that, we crown guys like 2-5. And
that's true too.
I'm doing that. I'm done. All right. Like we'll joke around, like we'll say Charlie Brown is like the next big thing in Philly. But in reality, like when dudes come in here now, we can't get too attached. Like that I think that's been part of our downfall.
We can't ignore the flaws.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I never do. I've always been the one that's like, you know, in the middle of the process, I'm like, TJ McConnell sucks. People hated me for it. I wasn't on YouTube yet. I wish I would have been. I was just always so realistic, and people hated it because people just want something to like rah, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
TC with the super chat says Toby can't be the third or fourth man with him being paid the most money. That's a good point. You know, again, it's like an ego thing. And, you know, whoever gets the big bucks is expected to show up. And that's why I hate why people kind of hold him, you know, to kind of be on a higher level than he is sometimes. But Process in Philly with a $5 donation says, hope you guys are doing well tonight. Elton Brand completely ruined this team. I can't believe he's still on this team. Very frustrating, man. What is Elton like? Do you guys think Elton Brand is in all the meetings and like talking about talent evaluation? I feel like he is. I really do.
It's weird. He's like in the background.
He's looking at the dude that took his job.
I guess, but didn't technically take his job.
Oh yeah, he's still technically the GM, right?
It's just weird. Why,
Like,
why are they so attached to him? Why wouldn't they fire him?
Why didn't they? Why did he trade for Tobias Harris? He was doing so well, getting Jimmy, and then he just had to ruin it with Tobias. Even though it looked good at the beginning, but that trade really ruined our franchise.
Wait, which
I
trade?
feel like he made all those trades in 3 days. He put no thought into anything. He was just like, oh, cool. I have all these draft picks. I want this guy, and I want this guy, and I want that guy. Boom, done. Championship.
Dude, that's what we would have done. It's like one of us taking over the Sixers.
Exactly.
That's what
Wait,
completely inexperienced guy.
Which trade?
Shamit for Tobias.
I thought you said the Jimmy trade ruined us.
No. That was a good trade.
In my
Shamit
opinion,
and 2 firsts.
I got to be honest with you guys. I actually liked Elton Brand's approach. Like, it was nice for once to not be waiting, at a minute before the trade deadline. Like, he just came in and was like, all right, let's go get a star. Let's get Jimmy Butler. Gave up Sarge and Covington and was like, boom, got it done. But my problem was the whole offseason after that. Like, you completely botched it, man. You paid 2.5, you paid Tobias, and you paid Al Horford. Like, that is a fireable offense.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
It's all Brett
Al
Brown's
Horford, bro. How? This is the part of the podcast where we just question life as a Sixers fan.
Yeah.
DJ, would you take Brett back?
What's it? Say that again?
Would you take Brett back? I heard you say Brett Brown. Do you think he would be like better than Doc Rivers right now?
No way.
I've heard people say that.
Yeah, that's because Philly fans have such a short-term memory. It's insane. Like, they forget what Doug Peterson did to the Eagles in 2020. They're like, oh, Doug didn't deserve it. Blah. Like, what? Did you watch that season? No, Brett Brown's horrendous. Doc has more of like an X and O's experience. Doesn't mean he's good, but no, Brett Brown brings nothing to the table.
I just wanted to see you get fired up a little bit.
And his moves as interim GM were awful.
We made Brett Brown an interim GM. That should tell you all you need to know, honestly.
The guy was, I feel like, part of me feels like he was hired by the Boston Celtics to sabotage the Sixers franchise because we didn't have any ball handling guards at all, and he wouldn't play Trey Burke.
Yep.
It made no sense. And then he cut him. And then our best bench guy was James Ennis, and he cut him too.
He also benched Alec Burks for Raul Neto in a playoff game, but
he started Raul Neto in a playoff game. Dude, he called him an entry pass specialist. We needed him in there. We needed him in there because he knows how to get the ball in the post. What? I feel like every NBA player knows how to get the ball in the post, right? You don't need an entry pass specialist. God.
Oh, man. Seth with the donation. Appreciates his Think Brand has pictures of ownership at a strip club with his arm up to the elbow and a chick. He will forever be our GM. LOL. I think Elton Brand played power forward and he was like, let me just go get Al Horford and he's going to fix all the problems of this team.
That makes no sense.
That's what I mean about the ownership not knowing what they're doing, because an owner that had any knowledge of basketball would have been like, no. What'd you say? $100 million for Al Horford? No. Tell him no. No, let him do that? That's insane.
DJ, I feel like it's weird because, when the days we used to rant about Brett Brown, it felt like there was at least something to look forward to in the future, And now it's like, we can say the same things about Doc. We can say the same things about this trade situation, but it's like,
we've now plateaued. We have Joel Embiid, and we're kind of just waiting for it to either. We kind of just feel like we're just going to fall off a cliff at some point.
I don't think Embiid will make it fall off a cliff, though.
I just mean like go through his career without actually giving him enough to win a championship.
Well, yeah, but I'm not expecting that. That's a lot of optimism to expect the championship.
When I think about Philly sports, there's this Louis C.K. skit, and he says, "You know what optimists are? They're stupid." He's like, they think something good's going to happen. Why would something good ever happen?
We gotta read a few comments in the chat. I've been seeing a bunch of crazy comments. Shout out to everybody still in here. Almost 400 people, by the way. Appreciate you wherever you're listening. Drop a like and a subscribe. This is the first comment I see here, so I'm just gonna go to it. And I just don't understand the people out there that believe that this guy can score 30 a game. Like, I just don't understand. Like, how many times you have to see this to believe it? Where we are at right now. Like,
I'm not reading the rest of it. If Ben has improved his shot, I'm done reading the comment. It's just not something that's ever going to happen.
I just don't get it, man.
There's still believers
sorry, Mr.
in
Martin.
that?
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but Ben's never going to improve his shot.
It's just crazy.
A guy wrote an article showing if Simmons scored 90% on his free throws, he would average 27. I mean, if he was a 90% free throw shooter, I mean, I don't
think Joel's a 90% free throw shooter.
Yeah, I mean, if I was 6'10", I would have been a D1 basketball player. But I'm not.
George says from the Hawks for Simmons, we need Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. What do you guys think about that?
I want Cam Reddish.
I know you do.
Would the Hawks do it? See, that's what I'm saying. I think you can sell them on, do they think a point guard like Trae Young and Ben Simmons on the floor together would be a nice matchup or a nice pairing?
You guys really think the Hawks would go for 2-5 after what happened in the playoff series?
I mean, they literally won because of 2-5. That would make no sense. But
yeah, but they're another team that they're not a team that's a contender.
Yeah, I know.
But him in the ATL, like,
come on. It really can't be Boston or Atlanta.
It's got to be on the West Coast. No pressure. Like, I'm just sick of saying it, man. I'm 100% sure he's going to start shooting when he leaves Philly. He might not hit them, but he will shoot.
No.
Okay. I just don't get where this ideology comes in, but okay.
He's never going to shoot. He chose to not shoot. He literally, he hasn't said it out loud, but his body language tells you, I'm not shooting, and you can't make me. And you don't care what you say, I'm not doing it.
I think he's going to retire, like RB was saying.
Yeah, he's done. He is done. The Sixers will get compensated. They'll get compensated like a 2026 second round pick or something. And honestly, at this point, I might even trade him to the Thunder. All right, get what you can from Presti. That man is stacking picks upon picks. Like, he just doesn't stop. Like, he traded last week. He traded for a 2028 second round pick. Like, he just doesn't care. Okay, pretty much auction him off to the Thunder at this point. J Abs with the $10 donation says Ben's dad is the man to blame. He forced him to shoot with his left hand growing up, even though he's right hand dominant. If you have seen him shoot with his right, he can get buckets, yo. For real, for real.
Come on now. First
of all, did he shoot with his right? Besides like his little panic hook shot.
Oh, that hook
I
shot.
did see a video before where they did talk about this. Like, his dad tried to make him ambidextrous, and
yeah,
he
I
made him
saw
like,
that.
Yeah.
Well, his dad's a doofus. I met the guy. He's a doofus.
RB, let me ask you this.
PG word I can think of for YouTube. He's a pompous, arrogant, thinks he's a celebrity. And, he probably – and that's why Ben's the way he is, because he came up with this guy telling him he's a superstar his whole life and telling him everybody's just a hater and everybody's wrong, and here we are. I agree. I agree. It's Ben's dad's fault.
Ron, what did you want to say?
I wanted to ask you, so trade deadline gets here and we trade Ben for a bunch of role players. What are your thoughts?
Depending on the market, I'm celebrating. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not streaming the trade deadline this year. All right. I streamed the trade deadline last year with DJ. We streamed the draft. I'm not doing it again. All right. Because I can't be on here when I lose my sanity. Like you will literally see me just demolish like on camera. Like if this doesn't happen and we're down,
you have to though.
I can already see it.
You have to
already see it. We have to.
What's happening?
You'll have 2,000 in the stream. You have to. That's why.
You
we do this.
I would like to see Romp's reaction. Me, I'm just gonna be like I can already see it now. Like an hour to go to the trade deadline. Yeah, talks are heating up. This, and this. And we get down.
I already accepted it. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm past it. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I
can't do that. I'm sorry. As a person that wants to win a championship, I just can't do that. I think that's disrespecting this entire city.
See, you're setting yourself up.
I'm going on strike. What I'm saying, I'm going on strike if that happens.
You're going on strike, so you're not going to upload?
No, I am going to upload, but I'm going to upload from the damn stadium, and I'm going on strike.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I'm just going to say trade 2-5, and I'm going to hold up the sign. Like
we can get a lot of people out there.
We can. Now, we might get thrown off of YouTube, but, it is what it is. Miz with the donation says, what happened to Wentz 2017 is hard to believe. Well, it ain't nothing compared to this, bro. It is we just go through pain upon pain, and I don't understand it, man. Like,
it's true, man. I didn't even think about what the Eagles go through. Well, at least they got a Super Bowl out of it somehow, but.
Dude, we're passionate as heck, and, we just get hit with this stuff, and I'm tired of it. Miz with another donation says Cam Reddish for a first, Tobias for Love, Ben Stays. Tobias for Kevin Love, Ben Stays, and Cam Reddish.
Oh, Kevin Love's playing out of his mind right now. They're not going to trade him.
Why wouldn't they sell high at this point of his career? Yeah, I would.
But Tobias ain't selling high.
If we trade for Kevin Love, I honestly might stop uploading. Or
what do you mean?
Russell Westbrook.
Dude. Kevin Love is a 6th man of the year candidate, bro.
I'm not saying he's playing good, but just us ending with Kevin Love when I heard the likes of these.
Isn't he 36?
Dude, he's better than Tobias, bro. He'll shoot threes.
He's better than Tobias on a team that has how many great young athletic players that are just playing so good right now.
Yeah, but he will shoot a 3-pointer with confidence, bro.
Right, but then he'll come here and try to be the man.
And he's a rebounder. He's one of the greatest rebounders of all time. He's 36. He's probably still better than Tobias's bum ass.
And you know what happens when he comes here? He's going to forget how to shoot the ball. He'll be 36. How much money is he making? Like $30 million?
I'll take it, bro.
Oh,
I hate Tobias.
I see that.
No. Things are going to happen closer to the trade deadline. Things are going to happen. Teams are going to start. Teams want Ben Simmons. They just don't want to give up what they have to yet.
All right, fine. I won't quit with Kevin Love. But if we get Russell Westbrook, I am quitting. I will put in my
I agree with that.
There's no way Morey's doing that.
I don't know. He did with the Rockets, so.
Yeah, I don't think he's making that mistake twice.
I hope not. Alvaro with the $5 donation. O'Shea got desperate at the end. Could have fleeced CJ, Ant, who's breaking out, and Nas with picks. They say patience is a virtue, but time doesn't wait. Sub Romp.
Sub Alvaro.
Do you think that was a real offer? What was it, CJ? What was the offer that apparently he turned down? CJ McCollum and a first for Ben or something.
I think they said we were interested in CJ, but I don't know if there ever became a point where there was like a certain deal in place. But
I'll take CJ and Alferne Simons right now, please.
I'll do
oh my God. I would never trade Anthony Simons for Ben Simmons.
Dude, we could have got that.
No way.
That's what he's saying. We could have got that, but Morey doesn't have he doesn't have the eye for talent unless it's obvious, like Tyrese Maxey. Like anyone could have done that.
What about the Timberwolves? Like there was a report that said that they offered us every single asset outside of Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. What do you guys think about like D'Lo and like some young players?
It's
They
all
have
about
they have a really good player. Jared Vanderbilt. He's really good. I'll take him. And D'Lo. Dude, I'll take anything for Ben. It's not that.
That's not how it works, though. You can't just take anything for him.
What do you
That's
mean?
why it hasn't happened yet.
But
you have to fleece the Kings. That's what you got to do.
We gotta hope the Kings just keep losing, embarrassingly too.
Or the Spurs. I'll take DeJounte Murray for him.
I think we could get that right.
I will do that.
Pop is probably like, Ben's a great player. He doesn't have to shoot.
He's come out and said that before. That's actually probably one of our best options because Popovich is a lot like Doc Rivers. They hate the three-point line. They hate the modern-day NBA. They love Ben Simmons because he reminds them of the 80s. Yeah. We can fleece Pop.
Yeah. I will do that. Shout out to Suns Geek in the chat. What's up, my guy? Says, I think because the Cavs are succeeding, Kevin Love won't be traded. Yeah, the Cavs might even be in a better position than we are. And that's saying something.
Yeah,
man.
why the hell would they want Tobias Harris?
Right.
Unless they want that pick.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's why
man.
this report is crazy today, because you can't trade Tobias Harris.
Let alone both of them.
Dude, I can't watch him play basketball.
Unless it's like the Al Horford trade. We'll give you him and some first-round picks. Please take the contract.
Yeah.
I would
Teams.
I'd rather watch a Ben Simmons return than have Tobias Harris on my team.
You're going crazy now.
No, just to see like
you're going overboard.
Just to see like what happens. It would be interesting at least. I mean, it's better
interesting.
It would be interesting.
He's never going to come back.
What would be interesting about it?
Like,
do you think if Ben doesn't retire, do you think he ever plays an away game in Philly?
Hell no.
Yeah, I do. And I think he absolutely just is as passive as can be. And I think Joel taunts at him and does all this stuff.
I'm buying a courtside ticket for that. There's no way I'm not.
I think there would have to be like
There's
extra
no way I'm not.
security measures in place. I really do.
Yeah, there would be. Didn't they put extra security measures in the playoffs?
Yeah. They put him in before he even came back. They put him on the practice facility. And you know what? Look, before we wrap this up, I just want to say to you guys, I said this at the beginning of the season, all right? I said I was actually willing to go the length to partially forgive this man if he came back into practice, stood up there like a man, and just said, I'm going to get better. And what did he do? He came into the practice. He walked around, literally did nothing. Got asked to do a drill and said no. And then left and never came back. Okay. Actually snuck into the arena. I didn't even throw that part in there. This whole thing's been like a soap opera, right? But I was actually willing to forgive this guy. And to your point, Romp, no, don't ever let him back in this building. I'm sorry. That is not even just to us, but to Joel, the rest of the guys. You wonder why Joel's been throwing subliminals at him, right? Because he disrespected the heck out of this team. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He quit. And I don't ever want that guy back in this stadium, man.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Taz Journey. Shout out to Taz Journey. He's been a member of my channel for 7 months. Thank you, Taz.
He's not a fraud.
Not a fraud. For 7 straight months, you've not been a fraud.
You know what's sad, though? There's actually, like, people that actually think Ben Simmons coming back is a good option. That's a sad thing. And there's actually people that think we miss Ben Simmons. Dude, when we have lost one time, have you thought, if we had Ben Simmons, we would have won? Besides the COVID-infested lineups?
Is that what the guy was saying? The guy that you said, like, who is this guy or whatever? Was saying Philly fans don't even like Ben Simmons. Is that what he was talking about?
Who?
The
guy that you posted today on Instagram.
Oh, that guy, he's hilarious. But he was saying that the Hawks should be interested in him. He would take him for like Cam Reddish and John Collins. So.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. These guys did a good job of blaming Philly fans. There's people that just think he has value and we're just idiots. And we run athletes out of town.
It's crazy. It really is, man. I like how people exclude the fact that we literally went, head and tooth with this guy for how many years? Like, we supported the heck out of him.
Oh yeah, they're completely wrong, but I hope there's a GM that thinks the same thing.
All right, well, we'll end it with this. Again, shout out to everybody in here. Thank you guys for being here once again. All right, we'll go around. What happens at the trade deadline? Like, give me your honest prediction. You take it
All
away.
right, I'm starting a 4-team blockbuster trade.
But I need like specifics down to the day and the hour and the minute. Like
What
when
the
does
hell?
I'm saying, like, if he gets moved, like when is it? Is it like a minute before the deadline? Is it the day
Yes.
before?
It's a minute before the deadline. It's 11:59 and 59 seconds. That's when it happens. And it's a 4-team trade that lands us somehow Jaylen Brown, and somehow Ben Simmons ends up on the Kings, and the Celtics get De'Aaron Fox. 4-team trade that works out because Ben doesn't have to play on the East Coast where everybody hates him, and we get Jaylen Brown. Yeah.
Nothing happens.
And Daryl Morey comes on YouTube and laughs at Romp.
Nothing happens. I'll be the biggest Daryl Morey. All he has to do is trade Ben, and I'm back on the Morey hype train. He changed his profile picture on Twitter, by the way. He's no longer an NFT.
What is it now?
Just a picture of him.
Interesting. Maybe he's getting the business then. Maybe he's getting it done. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave my answer as I don't know. I really don't know at this point. That's my prediction. I don't know. I hope that he gets traded. And if he doesn't, then I don't know what to say anymore.
I can't see it going past the trade deadline. The city won't have it.
I'm
Well,
really.
I mean, it's not like they're going to do anything, but they'll stop. They won't go to the games anymore. The arena will be half empty.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even with Joel Embiid?
Yeah, you're right. Damn.
I don't think the arenas get empty, sadly.
What are the chances that he actually comes back if he makes it through the deadline?
You can't.
I think it's 0%. But
Yeah.
Comes back and plays for the Sixers? Yeah, it's 0%. He would retire before he does that. He doesn't actually care about anything.
I can't believe we're still talking about this in 2022.
I don't like. It's like we can't really talk about much more, like what our expectations are for the playoffs and all that, without knowing like
his fiance is a TV star in the UK. You know, he might just be a stay-at-home husband. Stream on 2K or whatever he plays, Call of Duty.
Dude, he's
someone in the
definitely.
chat said, "I love him at heart." Yeah, you're 1,000% on the wrong side of the equation. I used to love him, not anymore. So, if
he moves to the UK where nobody hates him, and just hangs out with soccer fans who don't even know that he quit basketball,
like goes off the face of the earth.
There's no way he plays again. There's no way.
I can't believe we're saying this, bro. This is crazy. We have gone through the craziest situation in NBA history. So at least we made history, right? At least we made history.
If he retired, would we get anything? Like, what happens?
That's what I'm saying. We need to get compensated for that.
All right. What about tomorrow's game against the Hornets?
They got no big men, so Embiid's definitely dropping 30.
Yeah, Embiid for 38 and a win.
They just beat the Bucks. They beat the Bucks twice in 5
Hornets
games or something like that.
They're no joke.
And Gordon Hayward's looking like he finally might be healthy.
I'll take him for Ben.
I would do that.
Yeah, I would do that too.
I think we win. I think we win tomorrow. Embiid goes for like 36, 38 and has another big game. But
I just want Embiid to win the MVP so bad.
I agree.
That's all I care about. That would mean as much as a championship to me, to be honest.
I disagree with that.
I mean, with the circumstances, that's like the championship.
With the circumstances, I hope he wins MVP. He deserves it, I will say. But
He does deserve it. He does deserve it. My guy Swipe a Cam on Twitter today. I had him on the show before. He's a great guy, big Denver Nuggets content creator. And come on, man. The dude posted so many stats I've never heard of in my entire life. One of them was Raptor. The hell is that?
These Jokic fans are clinging that Jokic is a good defender.
And here's what somebody said in the replies. Here's what somebody said in the replies, because I said Joel Embiid easily has a bigger defensive impact. Somebody said in the replies, block hunting doesn't equal defense. Like, that's the most literal form of defense. Physically stopping the ball from going in the hoop.
Yeah, Suns Geek is in here. What did you guys do in the playoffs against the Nuggets, Suns Geek? You ran a pick and roll every time with Nikola Jokic in, and they couldn't stop it. And they got 4-0'd.
Block hunting. God.
Joel Embiid for MVP, man. That's what I'll leave it as.
Listen, I don't watch them. Yeah, all you got to do is watch one Embiid game to understand that he doesn't just block shots. I mean, are you serious? He plays real defense the entire game.
Yep. But
Jokic is nice as fuck, though. Don't get it twisted.
He's nice. I agree with
absolutely.
You. But tired of Joel getting disrespected, man. And it's his time. So hopefully he plays enough games, though. That's what I'm worried about.
He's in the best shape of his life, bro.
He's already missing it, so.
You see him running down the court, bro? He never used to do that.
I know. He is in the best shape of his life, and that's why we got to win. And
they finally got him like with his diet together. That's what it really is. They finally got him. Listen, you're not eating 6 Popeyes chicken sandwiches on the plane and drinking 3 milkshakes. Like, they finally made him understand you have to have an absolutely perfect diet if you want to be one of the best athletes in the world. And that's what he's doing. And that's why he looks the way that he looks right now.
If we get another like big time player, we're winning the championship. Think about
Jaylen Brown. It's happening. It's Jaylen Brown.
No way we're getting Jaylen.
Think about another scoring threat. Think about what Embiid's doing. How do you stop that? And then
I think we can win it even without that. I think Embiid's that good.
I like that.
I like that too.
It's like a 2% chance, but that's why I'm excited, man. Like, we could see him have a Dirk Nowitzki run. Like, that would be just, oh man.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, but it wasn't nobody's though. It was one of the greatest point guards of all time, and Sean Marion was still good.
Yeah, but Furkan's up there with the greats.
Jason Terry was really good.
Furkan, bro. He's up there with the great point guards.
That's where
he's probably our best.
Jason Kidd, Furkan Korkmaz, yeah. Toss up.
That's where we got to cut the show when he starts going off.
I think Furkan should start, to be honest. I think his defense has improved. Come on, guys. You got to admit his defense has improved.
If I traded for De'Aaron Fox, I would bring Maxey off the bench, but that doesn't have anything to do with Furkan to me.
Nah,
no, you're lucky.
I don't want De'Aaron Fox.
You're actually pretty lucky that we didn't do this for about 2 months because Furkan had probably the worst stretch of his career.
Yeah, that was bad.
Probably the worst. But
dude, someone said he can't defend. That's a lie. His defense is fine now. He gets beat sometimes, but his defense is fine. It's just,
he's just the most hot and cold player I've ever seen.
Hey, bro, this is what I'm talking about. The bias of Sixers Twitter. I mean, Isaiah Joe was shooting horrific, and because I was nice to Isaiah Joe because I see his shot and I understand he's just missing shots.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything. But if Furkan was doing that, oh my God, Sixers Twitter would have roasted him, and they do roast him when he misses. But it's like Isaiah Joe could go 0 for 25, but if Furkan misses 2 shots in the first quarter, get him out of the game, cut him. It's like, chill.
No, it's when he goes 1 for 13.
Yeah, but he's probably our best player at getting to the painted area and kicking it out.
Isaiah Joe hasn't been given the opportunity to have a rhythm. He gets put in a game for 3 minutes and then doesn't play for 2 weeks.
Yep.
I agree, but I just see those people on Twitter like just being unfair. And if
Twitter's
you're going to be
just
unfair to
insane.
one person, you got to do it to all. Just be consistent. That's all I ask.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to go on a FurCon love rant. That's part of my agenda here.
I know that. Just like Rich Paul's agenda, backing your player. But
Furcon's just a guy you have to use sparingly. If he's off, yeah,
get him out.
use someone else.
We're 9-1 when he scores over 10 points.
I believe that.
What are we when Embiid scores over 10 points?
I don't know, probably undefeated.
Probably. But in all honesty though, like Niang is my guy off the bench because that guy, he comes in the game, he makes a 3 and he starts talking smack to the other end.
Right.
He's a motherfucker, man. That's what he is.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a dog. I was so wrong about him, bro. I thought that signing was so bad, bro. I apologize, Niang.
He's what we needed.
He's awesome.
He is what we needed. Like we went
he
from
should start over Tobias too. Freaking playing favorites, Doc Rivers.
Niang's a beast, man. But we could sit up here all day and talk about the Sixers role players. At the end of the day, here we are. 29 days to go. So 20. I'm gonna start crossing it off on the calendar as I go. 29 days.
Add it to your streams in like the corner.
Yeah, 29 days. Yep. But let's get our 8th straight win tomorrow. What do you guys think? We pull it out?
Yeah. Joel's completely unstoppable right now, and until we play somebody that has Steven Adams or somebody else that can give him some, physical resistance, nobody's slowing him down.
I agree. Hornets defense is embarrassingly bad, so they have no center. No one's going to stop them.
But again,
they could shoot, though.
Yeah, their shooters could go off against us.
It's going to be close, definitely. It's not going to be a blowout.
Hopefully Maxey plays. We'll see. Anyway, hold on. We got one more super chat. Shout out to Jay Abs. Says, hey, come on now. Let's show Drummond some love. But mainly let's not forget about Paul Reed. Like, legit, Philly needs to play him more, to be honest.
Nah, Charlie Brown Jr. is better than Paul Reed.
I like Paul Reed's energy, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of basketball skills.
He's got to develop. But who knows with Doc? Who knows?
Drummond's great, and Kate Scott thinks he's beautiful. So there's that. Did you see that? She responded to me on Instagram.
That was awesome.
I saw that. Yeah, that's great. We'll end it off with this. Mike says, apologize to Ben and pray he forgives you.
Can you repeat what she said, though, DJ?
Oh, man.
What she said during the game that I was laughing about? She said, it's good to have a lead like this in case you want to give some guys a blow. And she responded to the Instagram post and was like, me and Allah were trying so hard not to laugh when I said that. When you talk for a living, you're bound to say something stupid. And I was like, you're absolutely right. It was just so funny. Now I feel like I can't slander her anymore because we're friends.
Yeah.
Damn.
You can't do it anymore. You can't. But shout out to everybody in here. 320 people. Thank you guys for being here, listening to us. Honestly, I feel like this is like therapy in a way. Like it's just like you get your emotions out and
It is. You need this.
Sixers. That's what it should be called. Sixers therapy. Tuesday therapy.
Oh, that's good. We can do that. We can change the name to that.
Anyway, appreciate all you guys. Have a great night. Go Sixers. Let's get the 8th win in a row tomorrow. Keep it going. Joel MVP. Y'all have a good night, man.
All right, man.